depression was rooted in I found that my depression was rooted in unresolved childhood trauma that had never fully healed. Vitiligo didn't make me insecure. It was only the spotlight that exposed the darkness on the inside. Chapter 1 of my book is called Recognizing Hidden Trauma. It is necessary to understand how trauma affects every cell in our body. Our body is a highly intelligent organism made of trillions of cells. The body keeps a score of everything that happens to us from the moment our life begins. You may not remember everything, but our nervous system stores every thought, action, and feeling inside our cells like a computer database. Those stored experiences form patterns that form behaviors. Some of these patterns are problematic because they are the byproduct of traumatic events that happen in our lifetime and even in our ancestors' lifetime. It is also necessary to acknowledge the source of your trauma, or the negative patterns will continue. To dissect the anatomy of trauma, you must examine a person's childhood. The early stage of a child's life are the framework that will remain for the rest of their life. Reflecting on my childhood, I see the relationship with my father a source of inspiration and trauma. I grew up in a very strict household that was also full of love. My father and I never cultivated an ideal relationship because I was his problem child. I felt like I could never please my dad. My dad was 6'8" and had the commanding presence of a drill sergeant. He was a college professional football player, and he was built like an oak tree. I desperately wanted to please my dad, but could never overshadow the negative virtues. I wanted more than anything for my dad to be proud of me. I wanted to hear him say he was proud of me. I wanted to hear him brag on me like I heard him brag about my peers. But overwhelmingly, I was chastised. I was told almost every day growing up that I would end up dead or in jail when I grew up. The most painful memory from my childhood happened when I was suspended from school the day before Christmas in the 5th grade. I was clowning around with some friends, and someone told the teacher about an inappropriate joke I had made. When my parents arrived to the school, my dad turned and looked into my soul and proclaimed that he was going to beat the demon out of me. I knew this would be a bad episode because I could see the rage in his eyes. When we got home, I was stripped completely naked and beaten like an animal for what seemed like an eternity. I screamed for my life as this 270-pound man was fighting me with a strap. Luckily, my grandmother was visiting for the holidays. She intervened by begging my father to stop beating me. If she hadn't intervened, I don't know how that day would have ended for me. Fast forward almost 25 years later. I'm far removed from the woes of childhood until a little friend called vitiligo comes into my life, and all those deep feelings of worthlessness, self-doubt, and pain come flooding back from my childhood. The problem is I had unhealed trauma that had got exposed through my depression. Chapter 2 is labeled My Vitiligo Journey. And I just want to share a reflection that I wrote in my journal while I was actually feeling the feelings that I was going through. This encapsulates the moment I began to understand how my inner world was projecting my outer world. As I sit in this beautiful condo overlooking the Pacific Ocean, I take this moment to reflect on where I've been, where I am now, and where I want to be. It seems like vacation is an ideal time to tune into my inner voice and assess my life. I left my daughter and wife at the pool to come and write because I needed a mental tune-up. My daughter Carmen is a child that can never get enough time in the water. She loves any and everything that puts her body near water. She and I have this in common, but for the last year, I have been increasingly ashamed to go anywhere near a pool. There have been too many embarrassing encounters for me at the pool. I can't recall how many pools have cleared out when I walk through the gates. I get the WTF look when I show up. Soon after, people get out of the pool and leave. One time, I thought I was lucky enough to get to the pool before anyone else, and my daughter and I were having a ball swimming and playing. Several people came to the gates opening, looked, saw me in the pool, turned around and left. The thought of the shame and embarrassment I would feel for clearing out another pool full of people on vacation is not worth the risk today. I'm having a great day, and the thought of everyone clearing out the pool would ruin the entire vacation. The look on my wife's face watching me sit by the pool as I avoided her eye contact was very intense. She knows how badly I wanted to strip down to my trunks and dive in that pool. It was killing her to watch me suffer in silence, and it was killing me that I was letting her down. I couldn't help but think at the time that these are first world problems, and there are more pressing issues happening in the world. But then again, what is more important than being in paradise and stuck in this hell inside my mind simultaneously? What matters to me may not matter to anyone else, but I cannot continue to rob my family of those precious moments anymore. So here are some of the action steps I used on my healing journey. The healing process for me has always been a very intentional journey. The version of who I was becoming was not fair to my wife and children. I had become such a shell of my former self that I was no longer present for the emotional needs of others. I knew that this would eventually manifest into something bigger if I didn't seek complete healing. I used the following 8 steps to guide my journey of self-discovery. These steps help me, but can be customized for your life. Number 1, get connected. The first step you need to take when you start your journey is to get connected. Find a community of believers to help you through troubling times. If you don't have a network close to you, there are a group of like-minded individuals somewhere online. Take the time to dig and turn over every stone until you find a place to connect with people who understand where you are and where you want to go. Number 2, create a safe space for healing. One of the best methods grounding yourself is to practice the art of meditation. You can create a space anywhere that is quiet at home or in nature. When you pray, you are engaging in a silent conversation with God. But meditation is a breathing exercise meant to empty your mind of negative thoughts. Both practices bring balance into your mind. The more you practice meditation, the more you will connect to who you are. Everyone needs a safe and quiet place to go when they address the trauma that has been locked away. Suppressed memories may resurface that you will be forced to address. Face the memories that hurt you. Remember that you are no longer the victim. You are a survivor. And the situation did not break you. It is important that you extend the same empathy to those who hurt you that you have for yourself. It is likely whoever hurt you was the victim of some trauma at one point, and they're just repeating a cycle. You will break the cycle if you can find the love and forgiveness in your heart to let go of the hurt. When you embark on a journey to forgiveness, it will not be easy. You should try to dedicate at least 15 minutes of your day to quiet morning meditation. All you have to do is focus your thoughts on breathing. With each inhale, imagine your lungs filling with love and all the negative energy being pushed out of your body through your exhale. Number 3, address the devastation. When I say address the devastation, address what triggers you to be out of balance with your higher self. If you are angry, try to remember what makes you angry. Do you lack patience, empathy, and tolerance for others who do not share your worldview? Are you angry because you do not control your life and feel powerless? Are you angry because you cannot control another person's narrative that threatens you? Be honest with yourself. What are you angry about? Do you have an alcohol addiction? What triggers you to drink? Are you running away from something that haunts you? Are you trying to numb the pain of some trauma you experienced as a child? If you are addicted to drugs, what is your reason? Are you unhappy? Are you running from the darkness inside of your soul? If you were sexually abused and have not healed from that experience, it's time for healing. Stop thinking you have to always be the strongest person in the room. It's okay to struggle with life sometimes. The struggle is essential for your growth. Allow yourself to ask for help and allow yourself to receive support. The universe is always trying to guide you, but some are too proud to admit we need help. Don't beat yourself up when you are mentally or physically broken down. When you get knocked down, it doesn't make you a weak person. Suppressing your emotions will make you feel temporarily safe, but something will come along and burst the bubble you're living in and expose your most vulnerable self eventually. It is better to tear down those walls and deal with whatever makes you insecure. Everything you need to thrive in this world is already inside you. You can overcome addiction, flaws, insecurities, past mistakes. If you look at yourself in the mirror and declare, you will overcome it. Number 4, accept what you cannot change. Learn to accept what you can't change. One of the most unspoken poisons of the soul is the need for power and control. Some people have such a dominant personality that they self-destruct when they lose power and control. Excuse me. We must learn to accept those things, or the bitterness will rot us to the core. We have no control over what lies are told about us, or who has envy towards us, or who flat out hates our guts. All we can control is how we allow that hate to infect us. It took me a long time to accept that having vitiligo, I couldn't change it. By accepting vitiligo, I felt like I was giving up on the hope of healing. It was a struggle of power and control that I had to eventually relinquish. I had to accept that I didn't know what I would look like from day to day. The universe will send challenges to your life to test you. Even if you are doing the right thing, something can happen to send your world into a tailspin. Your job is to stay calm and do not revert to your old ways of handling triggers. Excuse me. Show the universe that you have mastered this class by remaining positive and optimistic. The universe likes to test your confidence to see if you are worth receiving what you desire. Number 5, define your goals. Over the last years, I've read a lot about writing your dreams and goals on a vision board to make those affirmations visible. 2 years ago, my wife and I made a vision board together. We listed all of our dreams and combined goals for our family. We listed over 30 things on our vision board and have accomplished at least half of those things already. That means we have accomplished half of our life's goals in 2 years. That is confirmation that these principles I speak of are working. One of my goals was to write this book, and by the grace of God, it will bless many people. If a vision board is not your thing, take time to write your goals down on a piece of paper. Write everything you want to manifest in your life down to the tiniest detail. If you want a better relationship with a person, put it on your list. If you want to lose weight and be healthier, put it on the list. If you want to move away from a place with a lot of negativity, put it on your list. Write everything you want for your life, no matter how silly or insignificant it may seem. Visit your list at least once a week, read it out loud, and then go on with your day. See yourself obtaining those things and saying them out loud. If you say things like you want $1 million house and a Lamborghini, make sure you have $1 million plan to go with your list. This list should align with your destiny. Number 6, manifesting anything you want requires you to be dedicated. The work you put in will activate the law of compensation. The more you stay consistent, the more powerful your mind will bend toward what it is you want to accomplish. The things you desire may not come into your life immediately, but don't let that deter you from continuing to work. If you're overweight and desire to have a better body, it may seem like an impossible goal. We make 20,000 excuses because of work, our age, our schedule, our family obligations, or genetics. What would prevent us from being healthy? You could increase your health by exercising 30 minutes daily, drinking water, and eating a vegetable-based diet. Most of us, including me, are unwilling to give up the pleasure from eating poorly. It takes a lot of discipline to deny the good food for a perfect body. The point is, nothing is impossible, only our lack of discipline and dedication. If you want to change your life, it will start with a change in your mind and then your habits and a commitment not to return to your old habits. I was told many times that I needed to love myself truly. I heard it so many times it started to irritate me. Whenever I heard someone say, "You have to truly love yourself," I thought, but I do love myself. I knew that I suffered from low self-esteem, but not self-hatred. Aside from my skin condition, I thought highly of myself. I took care of myself. Finally, I said, okay, if everyone keeps saying the same thing, I have to truly love myself, then maybe I need to listen and stop judging the messenger. Do I truly love myself? I started thinking of how I would creep away when people started taking pictures. I thought of how I was snapping my wife for posting pictures of me on social media without my approval. I thought about never leaving the house without a hat because it lets me stay hidden just a little more. Surely a person who loved themselves would not behave in this way. So I do have work to do. The next question became, how do I obtain this self-love that I lack? I thought about the things that I hated. I hate that my skin made me feel ugly. I asked myself, if it were not for my physical appearance, was there anything else I hated about myself? I hate the fact that I can be judgmental. I asked again, if it were not for your physical appearance and the fact that you can be judgmental, is there anything else you hate about yourself? I thought about all the people who caught the wrath of my temper. I said, yes, I hate the way I express my temper. I asked myself, if you could fix how you see yourself, stop yourself from being judgmental, and control your expression of anger, would you do it? I answered, yes, I would. I am reminded me that all I had to do was say what I wanted, declare it to be, believe it, and it will be. No medicine in this world can make you love yourself. Self-love has only one source, that is self. I can proclaim what I want it to be and bring the things into my life and be consistent with my actions. To truly love yourself means that you love everything, even the bad stuff. If you were born with a birthmark on your face and felt like it took away from your beauty, you have to value what's inside the package more than the outside. If I sent you a kilo gold bar worth $60,000, you wouldn't care how I wrapped it. Even if I wrapped it in toilet paper, you wouldn't value the package any less. But what if I told you that you are the package, you are the gold, you are the gift. Whatever crappy situation you've been through has you feeling less than pure gold is just your skewed perception. What you are on the inside is priceless. To truly love yourself is to first genuinely know who you are. You must understand that your lower self is only a portion of you, but not the authentic you. The lower self represents the part of you that is fallible. Once you align with the higher self, you will transcend all of the imperfections of your lower self. You will see yourself as the Creator sees you, perfect as the day you were born. When people have supreme confidence, they are immune to outside influences. They have mastered the art of self-love, and they approach everything in life with the same fearless and unshakable confidence. Mastering this unshakable confidence is a goal of mine. I still have work to do. I hope you have enjoyed this part of the presentation. This concludes my portion of the presentation. If you would like to know more about the book, you can find it on Amazon Books and on Audible. One last note before letting you go. Just to show a full circle moment, I have been selected to be an actor in a commercial for vitiligo. I'll be flying to Toronto, Canada tomorrow, where we'll be filming. So thank you for your time and attention, and I wish you all good wealth and mental health on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben, for your courage, strength, and resilience. Your story is truly inspiring, and your action steps are so very helpful and just really key for our overall wellness. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And we have a question from an 11-year-old from California, and he wants to know, Ben, what can he do to cope with stress and bullying at school?
Well, bullying is very hard to navigate. I would definitely address whoever is in charge. Let them know what's going on so that you have people who are aware of what's going on. You shouldn't have to deal with those type of things alone. What we tend to do as adults and children, we go with the flow. We don't want to we don't want to upset anybody with our problems, so we just kind of internalize everything. So I would definitely encourage that young man to notify the people who are in charge at school, notify your parents so that you have people who are working with you and who are guiding you to so that you don't have to take all of that stress internally on your own. We're in this journey together. We've all been there. We've all been in a place of judgment, and it's not nice. It's not cool, but it's a part of life. You know, it's gonna, in the long run, it's actually gonna build you up, and it's gonna make you stronger in ways you don't see yet. So just hang in there, and yeah, lean on your parents and the people who are there to protect you.
Wonderful. I definitely second that. Speak to a trusted adult, at school, and definitely let your parents know as well.